father was a wonderful man who waited on me hand and foot when I was a child. Mother used to jokingly call him the slave. When I grew up, I expected to find a husband as loving and selfless as my father. Instead, I found Frank. I would always give Frank 30-minute back rubs, which he always asked for. He'd never give me back rubs unless I begged, and then only for 30 seconds. One time, I broke both my arms and they were put in casts. Despite this, I continued with Frank's back rubs. The doctor warned me that if I continued using the muscles in my arms that way, I would cause permanent damage and have unbearable shooting pains for the rest of my life. I told Frank what the doctor said, but Frank told me I was exaggerating because I was lazy and didn't care about how his back felt. One day, shortly after that, after a long time rubbing his back, my own was sore. And so I said, "Your turn, and I want a half an hour, because I always give you a half an hour. What's fair is fair." And Frank told me, "I thought you gave me back rubs because you love me, not because you expected something in return." And I explained that I love him, but that I also want something since I give so much. And he told me I was just being selfish, and that I needed to start trying to be a truly selfless person. And so I tried being selfless for a while, but the shooting pains in my arms, which he also refused to massage, were so unbearable that finally, well, I just figured it would be easier to kill Frank than continue trying to be selfless. And I know I should have just left or something, but the apartment, it was so nice, and why should I be the one to give it up? I'm the one who found it in the first place. And even then, I suppose there were other ways to handle the situation, but I couldn't think of any at the time. Killing him was the best I could come up with. I think the problem with Frank and me is my inability to be assertive, to assert myself. I mean, had I just asserted my right to back rubs, and to my arms, and to my apartment that I found, then maybe Frank would have respected my needs, and I wouldn't have felt that killing him was the only option available to me. I think I fluctuate between being too passive and too aggressive, when what I really need to do is find some middle ground between the two.